What's up, guys? My name's Philipar and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing our little tutorial series on what to do on day one and how to get yourself set up to survive in the apocalypse against the hordes of zombies that you're going to have to face through the course of 7 days to die. Well, where we left off in the last video, we had just completed all of our basic intro quest, and we were standing, waiting to see where the trader was, and standing there holding some skill points, and you just trying to figure out what you need to do next. So we're going to pick up right there, and we're going to progress through what you need to do on day one. All right. So the trader is 1.1 kilometers in the southwest general direction. In reality, the road will probably take us to the trader. So it's not a bad idea just to run down the road. You can loot some of this trash along the way, pick up some stuff that you may or may not use. It's generally a pretty good idea to chop down these tires. And again, I'm just left clicking these tires and they're breaking down into polymers. Polymers sell for quite a bit at the beginning of the game, and that's good to get your own internal economy going with the Duke coins and stuff like that. So for the keen-eyed viewers, you will see that the time has reset in the top. I have respawned into the same seed, and I redid all the quests. So that way, it would be as if you had just done them at kind of a normal pace, and you would have roughly about the same amount of time that you normally would to get the stuff done for day one. So that's why I respawned in and started over, because where we left last time, it was almost night after we had gotten everything explained and started to do the quest. So we're going to work our way toward the town. So as you're heading toward the town, again, you can see right there to the left of my club, it's got the distance meter on how far away you are from the trader. What I'm kind of managing here is my stamina bar. If you look in the bottom left, it says that I'm at 84, 82, 80. As I hold shift, I will run faster at the cost of that stamina bar. So just be mindful of that. You will use stamina every time you swing your weapon, left click or right click. Obviously, right click is going to do a harder swing. Left click is going to do a lighter swing. So just keep that in mind that you're going to need that to also defend yourself. So we found ourselves a little town here, and the trader is always going to be kind of in the town, kind of off to one end. So once you get in town, you're pretty safe. You can run across the ground. But like I said, guys, most of the time, the main road you're on is going to take you to the trader one way or the other. So just kind of keep that in mind when you spawn in. That you don't have to go as the crow flies and run straight across the mountains in order to get to the trader. Sometimes that's not the fastest way. So we're going to head over here to the trader and complete that journey to the settlement quest that's up in the top right-hand corner. And then we're going to progress through some other things that we're going to need to do for day one. And I'm going to kind of walk you through what I look for and stuff that I do on day one to make sure that I have the best start I can possibly have in order for us to be able to be prepared for day 7, 14, 28, those kind of things. So, and again, guys, this isn't an all-inclusive, this is the only way to do it, guys. If you find a better way that you want to do it, by all means, you go for it. It's the same thing when I talk about the skill points, where you put those, where you allocate those. Guys, it's up to you. It's all in how you want to play the game, how you want to play your character. But this is just a general recommendation from me and how I play. Just take it for what you will. Take it, change it, make it your own, and run with it, man. That's all there is. We're just trying to, we're just trying to build a community to help each other out. Just trying to increase the amount of players we got on 7 days. Trying to increase awareness. That way, when the game is fully released, we'll have a huge community, and it'll be an awesome place to play with mods and modders and a community that takes care of each other. So it makes sense for us to take a second and just kind of teach you how to play, so that way you can get up to speed. So we found the trader. They're always going to have this White River flag here, and then the open sign is going to be either illuminated or not illuminated if it's in the middle of the night. I know there are some POI combo packs that put essentially destroyed traders in, and the way you're going to tell a difference in that, guys, is, again, the flag I think is still going to be there, but the open sign won't be there. So just keep that in mind. That some combo packs add that stuff in where there's just different trader models. So what you're going to do is you're going to come in here. Make sure you shut the door behind you. That way you have zombies like the Brenda out there that's going to try and get in.
Holy shit, I thought you were a zombie.
You're going to talk to the trader with the E key on your keyboard. He has an inventory. He has jobs. I have debug mode on right now, so I could slow down or change the time of the day if we run out of time. I'm not spawning anything in or using that to do anything. I just have it on in case we run out of time, so we can make sure we get all the stuff we need to talk about. So when you open this up, it's going to say, "May I see your inventory? Do you have any other jobs?" And never mind. So, do you have any jobs? These are going to be the quests that you're going to get from the trader. It's going to give you a couple of things. In the brackets there, it says what tier the quest is, or how hard it is, or how big the POI is, what kind of quest it is. The first one there is a fetch. The second one is a buried supply, and the, what's that? 1, 2, 3. The fourth one down there is a clear zombies. And then in parentheses out to the right is the distance and the direction from that trader. So from this trader, that first quest is 1.6 kilometers to the southeast. That's important. As you're playing, you may have a couple of places, a couple of traders you're getting quests from, and you can start trying to get quests in the town that you live in by choosing the general direction that you're taking jobs. So just keep that in mind. The difference between the quests, a fetch is you're going to have a White River supply cargo box that you're going to have to go get out of a POI. You don't have to kill any or all of the zombies at all, as long as you can get the supplies and get back to the trader. Buried supply is going to be a chest that's buried underground, and you're going to need a shovel to dig underground and get to that. And then clear zombies is the exact same thing as a fetch. You got to go get the supplies, but you also have to clear all the zombies out of the POI. Obviously, clear zombies is harder. You get more XP for a reward, plus you get more XP for doing the quest. And generally speaking, I think that the rewards are all based on the tier. So it's a tier 1, you would get a tier 1 reward. So that's kind of explains the jobs. We're going to take the buried supply.
If you want work from me,
it's going to tell me here
you'll do what you're told, asshole.
that I need a shovel. That I need a shovel in order to do it. So don't forget, you're going to need a shovel. I'll accept that.
Look, you better
E,
not make me regret
see your
this.
inventory, and then this is going to be his inventory. The shopping cart has everything he has in his basic inventory. You can keep it on there and just scroll through and see if there's anything you want in order to move on with the game. And then you have this secret stash over here. It looks like a bank vault. Click that. That's a entirely separate inventory that he has things in, that there are skill points that will dictate what you see in this tab. If you level up in Better Barter, you may see more things in this tab that other people who don't have points in Better Barter will not see. So we'll kind of explain more on that as we go along. So we found the trader. Now what do we do? Well, it's generally good habit once you find the trader and get that connection to run around the trader compound and loot all the stuff in the trader compound. So you want to loot his trash. You sometimes find books and stuff like that in the trash. And then what you're really looking for are these workbenches or workstations that you can build, but the trader's going to have all of them. So sometimes you'll find destroyed ones, sometimes you'll find actually working ones, and so that could be a nice boost on your economy. If you don't have to build a forge, you can find one, but bear in mind the trader does close, so it's not available to you 24/7 in the game, so just kind of keep that in mind. So you'll search these. If they're destroyed, they're going to give you something, some kind of resource. And then most of them have some kind of kitchen setup where you can potentially loot a couple of places. It's not going to be great, but you may get a really good roll, and you may find a cooking pot, and that would be huge. So we have a destroyed chem station upstairs. Gives us a couple vitamins, no big deal. Toilet, some water. And you can hear that pinging sound in the background. That is a zombie hitting the outside of the trader right here. We have a couple of zombies right here hitting the trader. The trader is 100% protected from damage. So those zombies can sit there and hit it all day long, and they're never ever going to get through, which is why the trader closes at night. Because if the trader didn't close at night, why wouldn't you just live in the trader, and then this game wouldn't be a challenge at all. So we have a working workbench. You know that because it says press E to use. It doesn't say destroyed workbench, press E to loot. So we have a working workbench and a working cement mixer. So that's a huge bonus for us. We don't have to build a workbench or a cement mixer right away. We have one available to us. So that's great. So what we're going to do now in our EverQuest to get ourselves ready for what we need to do on day one is we're going to spend some skill points. Actually, what I'm going to do real quick, guys, I'm going to go out and I'm going to kill those zombies so they stop hitting the outside of this building and making all this ruckus. So yeah, I knew you were coming. All right. We're going to go back in here and we're going to spend some skill points. So we're going to hit tab to open up our crafting menu. We're going to click the skills tab, which is the little guy with the graduation cap on. Click that. And as you can see right there, we have 4 skill points available. Now, you have all these skills and all these tabs, and you're saying, Philifar, I don't have any of the slightest idea what are the best things for me to take for me to be able to survive day one. Well, I've played for quite a while. I've kind of developed a system on what I take. Now, again, it's not all cookie cutter. I don't take the same things every time. It's just kind of based on how I want to play, what's happening at the time in the game, what I may need. But the general consensus on what you need to survive is a couple of things. I'm going to put 1 point in Sexual Tyrannosaurus. Now, what this does is it reduces the melee tool stamina used by 8% and power attacks by 15%. Now, what that means is when I right-click my club, I used 33 stamina to do that. If I left-click, you see, I used those amounts of stamina. Now, if I come in and I put 1 point in Sexual Tyrannosaurus, I use 33 for a right click. Now I use 20. It makes it cheaper for me able to fight zombies. Good. Sometimes the best defense is the good offense. So back in the skills tab. So I have 1 point under strength in Sexual Tyrannosaurus. I'm also gonna put 1 point in Pummel Pete, which allow me to craft level 2 clubs. I deal 10% more damage, and attacks do 40% more damage to stunned enemies. Power attacks have a 60% chance to knock foes back down. Okay? So, put 1 point in there. Now, under perception, there's Lucky Looter. This is pretty controversial because there's no... in the beginning of the game, 5% to your loot bonus it's not going to be huge. But what it may be is you may get to the threshold to start getting better gear just a little faster. So it may get you just a little more set up for each Horde night. So I put 1 point in Lucky Looter. The last point I'm going to spend, which of my 4 points, is I'm going to come over to the intellect tree. I'm going to go down to advanced engineering, and I'm going to take blacksmith. Now, this may change. I may have, while looting the trader, I may have come over here and I may have looted this forge. If I looted that forge and got the forge schematic out of that forge, which is the book that teaches me, or the recipe that teaches me how to make the forge, then I don't need to spend this skill point to unlock the forge. I didn't get that, which is what I was looking for, but I didn't get it. So I'm going to unlock the forge, and those are my first 4 skill points. And that, I think, is a good base to get yourself started out here in the apocalypse in order to survive the zombie hordes. All right? So, I've got my skill points, got the trader. Well, what's left? Well, now we got to go out and we got to find somewhere to stay. Like I mentioned in the other video, at 2200 or 10 o'clock, the zombies are going to start running, and they're going to become infinitely more dangerous. So we got to find somewhere to live, and I'm going to kind of talk you through what I do when I'm looking for somewhere to live, or somewhere I can start. Now, it's already 15:35. I don't have a whole lot of time, so we may find a place to stay tonight, and then we may move again, but that's completely okay. You don't have to find the perfect building up front. You just got to find somewhere you can stay in order to get through the night and keep out of the way of the zombies. So what we're going to do is we're going to say that we're going to run back here behind this house. Also, there's a zone of protection. See that? There's a zone of protection around the trader. It stops in this line of blocks right here. Okay? That's important because later when I try to put down a land claim block, if I try to put a land claim block and the boundary of the land claim block touches the border of a trader, it's not going to allow me to put that down. That means I can't live at this house, this house, this house, or that house back there, because I would be too close to the trader. So keep that in mind. You can't just run next door and live next door to the trader unless you have a really small land claim block size. Maybe you do. But I could come over here and live here, or over here. So what we're looking for when we're trying to find a place to live is we're trying to find something that has some kind of protection around it, okay? Something made of brick or concrete, something you can defend. So this Buzz's Bar, in my opinion, is one of the best places to start. It's relatively small. It's got brick. There's just 3 rooms inside, so it's not terrible as far as size and maintaining what's going on. So let's say we're going to live here in this POI, which if you don't know what that means, POI stands for point of interest. So let's say we've decided we're going to live at Buzz's Bar. That's excellent. That's one of the hardest choices in the game, is finding where to live and being able to maintain it. Okay? So we're going to live at Buzz's Bar. The problem right now is Buzz's Bar has zombies inside. Cool thing about Buzz's Bar is it's also got a vending machine. Sometimes these vending machines don't work and sometimes they do. This one works. If you hit E, it's going to open up a menu that has things you can buy for. And generally, they're going to be whatever this cost is over here. And then there's going to be candy. This is a candy, and it's going to give you some kind of bonus. This is the Rockbusters candy. It gives you a 10-minute buff that makes you mine 20% more of whatever it is you're mining. So it's a pretty good deal. And this vending machine will refresh its inventory every day. So you'll get something new in that vending machine every day. So it's pretty cool because it's right outside. So we're going to go in here, and we are going to open up this door, and I'm going to talk you through how you clear POIs, what you're looking for when you're in there, and the difference between going a stealth run through a POI and just going in and waking everybody up and trying to get everybody out of the POI as fast as possible. Obviously, if you're on a time crunch, stealth way may not be the best option because you may run out of time and those zombies may become more agitated at night and become much more dangerous. So sometimes you just have to kick the door in and go in guns blazing and try and get that POI cleared out as fast as possible. Control will make me squat down or crouch. You can see there it puts a little icon, a little bar above my stamina. Looks like an eye. What that means is that's my visibility. Right now I'm at a 34 out of 100% visibility. When I interact with things, my visibility goes up. It goes from 34 to 74 when I opened that door. Okay? So, here's some pro tips. If you're trying to be stealthy, these things on the ground, like this right here, they're going to make noise when you walk on them. You can take your stone axe that you made early, and you can break them down. Now I can walk into this bar, survey what's around me, without stepping on that noise trap and waking everybody up inside. Okay? I know from experience, because I've used this POI before, that there are blocks in this floor that fall apart when you walk on them. When I cross one of those, it's going to make a bunch of noise, and everyone in this bar is going to wake up. So I'm going to try and stick as close to the outside of these structures as possible. They generally don't put false floors right by items they've placed on the floor. Generally. Okay? So we'll walk our way around. Now you see the game put me up on that pool table, and when I came down, I made a bunch of noise. So again, we are just surveying this. This is the stealth way to deal with POIs, is you're going to try and be as stealthy as possible. Okay, so I took my bow out. And as you can see, the bow's just there in the bottom left. It doesn't look like there's an arrow. That's 100% true. If I left click with my mouse, it's going to load the arrow that I have available. If I hold the R key, it's going to pull up this reticle. And you have all the different types of arrows in the game. And I can choose what I load if I had them available. So I have stone arrows, iron, steel, flaming arrows, and exploding arrows. Obviously, I only have stone arrows, so I'll choose that. I would just hover over it and let go of R, and it'll load whatever that is. So there's going to be a zombie back here right there, okay? So I'm going to right click. I'm just going to click it, and that makes me zoom in. I'm going to click and hold the left mouse button, and this bow has a little bit of a drop, so you need to aim a little high, and then I'm going to shoot her right in the face. Right there on the screen, it said sneak damage 3.5. So what that is saying is because I'm hidden, and because I'm crouched, and because these zombies have no idea that I'm here, I get extra damage. It's like sneak attack if you play a rogue or anything in any type of RPG. Same concept. So again, I right click to zoom in to give me a little better aiming reticle. Click and hold left and release. Now you see, sometimes I can pick the arrows back up and I don't use them. Sometimes when I shoot things, the arrows will break and you just lose them. So you just kind of have to contend with that. Another thing you'll see as you go through as you're trying to do stealth, the further away you open doors, it gives you an opportunity to let your visibility meter reset. So now, I've just opened that door, went all the way up to 58, and now it's back down to 17. So now, again, there's a noise trap. Take that out. Get my bow. Look at that. Oh, he heard me. Sometimes when you cross into different rooms, it automatically wakes those zombies up, at least it seems, no matter how quiet or how loud I am. So this is a crawler. He's deceptively difficult because you have to aim down to hit him. And he does quite a bit of damage, and he'll pretty much sprain or break your ankle almost, I don't want to say 100% of the time, but a lot. So we're going to melee him, and we're just going to try to aim for his head and try to hit him, okay? I used a power attack and then a regular attack to kill him. So now that that zombie is awake, I'm just going to kind of cruise in here and see if there's anybody else. Usually if one zombie in the room wakes up, most of the zombies will wake up in the room. That's not always the case, but it's a pretty good model to live by. Again, noise trap, and you see that? That's the floor pieces that fall away as I walk over them. So we're gonna try and walk over these and get them all to break in so I don't keep having to worry about them. So what you can do right there, guys, is you can get 3 wood frames, put them in your inventory, and just throw them in that slot. Now there's another one right there. And now I can walk over those and it doesn't do anything. Okay, so we're gonna open that door and we're gonna go in and see who's in here. All right, so there's nobody in here. So that's a great example, guys, of using stealth to clear out a POI. So now we've cleared out this Buzz's bar, and so what are we gonna do next? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our land claim block, and we're just gonna put it up there in the floor, on the ceiling, I mean. So now what that does is it's going to prevent zombies from spawning within a radius around this building. If you hold E and click this show bounds, if I go outside, it's going to show a green block around Buzz's bar that zombies will not actively spawn in. So what does that mean, Philfar? That means that because I've placed my land claim block in Buzz's bar, I will never have to clean out Buzz's bar again from the basic sleeping zombies. So that's what we do that for. Now, I normally would pick up my bedroll from when I made it at the beginning, but for whatever reason, I forgot to grab it. So I'm going to make a bedroll real quick, and I'm going to throw it down on the ground. So, bedroll. Bam. Now, what a bedroll does is very similar to the land claim block. It's going to prevent zombies from spawning in a local area, a little smaller than the land claim block. But the bedroll acts as a respawn point. So if you're playing in a series where dying doesn't matter, you will have the option to respawn on or close to your bed. All the series that I play are all permadeath. So if I die, the series is over. So the spawn point thing doesn't really matter. But that's what that's used for. So if you play in a game and you just get trapped and beat up and you die, you can respawn back here at your home where you have the land claim block and all of your stuff. So that's how we have cleared out. We've went to the trader. We've completed the trader quest. We spent our skill points. We found the first workstations that we had available to us, and we looted the ones that were destroyed. We walked through picking out a POI. You were looking for small POI, something made of brick or concrete, something that you can kind of defend if you need to defend, and something that is not too big. The problem with big POIs is if a wandering horde runs around, You could be on one side of the POI and you may not hear them trying to break through the other side. So you could just be wandering through the building that you have put your land claim block in, and bam, there's some zombies that, though did not spawn in your area with your land claim block, but moved into that. We talked about how to use your land claim block and how and what that does, and how and what your bedroll does. So guys, we're going to end that video right there, and we're going to come back next time, and we're going to talk about looting POIs. We're going to talk about what you need to look for when you're going through those POIs, some tall tale signs of where zombies are, and we're going to continue the discussion between fast and stealth for POIs. And then we're going to come back here and we're going to organize our base, get some storage down, build our first campfire, and then we're going to talk about what do you do during the day and what do you do during the night, because those are two different things that help you survive on day one on 7 Days to Die. Guys, if you like the content, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and click the bell if you want to be notified every time that I post a video. And thanks a lot. Thanks for coming for the ride, and we'll see you next time.